Team Update 0. General. Team Update 0 is provided as a quick reference of evergreen rule changes. The approach taken in this team update is to describe changes to content only. Editorial changes to verbiage, rule, and section references, game-specific examples that relate to evergreen content, and formatting changes are not described. As always, it's important to read the whole manual at least once and become an expert on sections of the manual that directly relate to your role and responsibilities on your team. Teams are welcome to ask thoughtfully informed questions through the official Q&A system, opening at noon Eastern Time on January 14th, 2025. Game Manual. General updates. All dimensioning in the manual has been updated to a new format using rounded decimal values for most dimensions as described in section 1.6. New this season, Field Dimensional Drawings package has critical dimensions for each field element in addition to the full drawing package. The term coach has been updated to drive coach throughout the manual. Changes to evergreen content, i.e. rules with green headlines, are described below. Sections are presented according to the 2026 manual presentation, and rule references present the 2025 rule number first, followed by the 2026 rule number as a reference. Section 6 Game Details. Section 6.7.1 has been updated to allow up to 2 members to talk with the head referee as noted in this blog. Section 7 Game Rules. G101 still G101. Humans remain outside the field. Rule language has been updated to focus on prohibiting reaching into the field. G102, still G102, never step over the guardrail. Rule language has been updated to include only entering the field when lighting is green. G208, still G208, show up to your qualification matches. Rule language has been updated to specify this rule applies to qualification matches. The violation text is updated from disqualified to disqualified from the current match. G302 to still 302, limit what you use during a match. Rule language has been changed to simplify intent of the rule and focus on which items can be used during a match. G414, now G410, keep your bumpers low. Rule language has been updated to clarify intent of the rule. G416, now G411, don't damage the field, and G417, now G412, watch your field interactions. Both rules have been made evergreen for this season. Section 8, Robot Construction Rules. R203, still R203, General Safety. Blue box has been modified to increase clarity on permitted lasers, prohibit lead even if encapsulated, and prohibit bright flashing lights. R205, still R205, don't contaminate the field. Rule language adjusted to include additional contaminants. R304 is not applicable this year. During an event, only work during pit hours. This rule has been removed. Work outside the event venue during an event is still restricted by E401. R401, still R401, bumpers almost all around. This rule has been adjusted to allow for a bumper gap for the rebuilt season. R402, still R402, bumper construction. Hollow pool noodles no longer allowed. Cross-linked polyethylene foam is explicitly allowed. R406, still R406, fill bumper corners. This rule has been adjusted to allow for bumpers to be constructed with padding wrapped around a corner. R409, still R409, bumpers should be passive. This rule has been adjusted to clarify bumpers must be fixed relative to the robot perimeter and not contain any moving elements. R412, still R412, team numbers on bumpers. This rule has been adjusted to require bumper numbers on 3 locations. R501, still R501, allowable motors has been updated. R504, still R504, and R505, still R505. Power most actuators off of approved devices and don't overload controllers. These 3 rules have been adjusted to reflect added and removed devices. Removed Nidec Dynamo, DMC60 motor controller, Jaguar motor controller, SD540 motor controller, and Victor 884 and 888 motor controllers. Added the ThriftyBot Pulsar 775. R601, still R601, battery limit. Everyone has the same power. This rule has been updated to add that battery vents must not be obstructed. R609, still R609. Connect main power safely. Added anti-mark power distribution. R615, still R615. Powered Robo Rio as specified. R616, still. Power radio as specified part 1 and power radio as specified part 2. These three rules have been rewritten to accommodate a wider range of PD options. R616, still R616, power radio as specified part 1, update to remove VRM and RPM as legal ways of powering the VH109 radio. R619, still R619, only use specified circuit breaker in a PD. Added CTRE circuit breakers. R701, still R701, control the robot with a Robo Rio. Updated to the 2026 Robo Rio image version 2026 v1.2. R703, still R703, use specified Ethernet port for Robo Rio. Updated for VH109 version 1.5 radio and removal of VRM and RPM as legal VH109 power options. R901, still R901, use the specified driver station software. Updated to the 2026 driver station version 26.0. R904, still R904, operator console physical requirements. Part D was updated to allow teams to clamp to the driver station shelf as long as shelf is not damaged. Section 9, Inspection and Eligibility. The introduction text in this section has been updated to require all teams to be reweighed prior to playoff matches to help identify any modifications that should be reinspected per I-104. Section 10, Tournaments. Section 10.2 added, once a match replay is granted, a team may not withdraw the request for the replay. Section 12, Regional Tournaments. This section has been updated to reflect the 2026 process for teams qualifying for first championship. Section 14, Events. E117 is a new rule to clarify that nobody should record interactions with others without their permission while at first events. Section 14.4, Load-in. Section updated to help clarify which rules apply to district and regionals. E401, still E401, load-in during load-in. 3D printed parts was added as an exception. E402, still E402, load-in person limit is 6. Rule updated to increase limit from 5 to 6. E510 is a new rule to clarify that running any automated tools overnight is not allowed in the pits. E511 is a new rule to remind teams that pit power is often shared between multiple teams and that teams who are causing breakers or trip may be asked to reduce the amount of power being used. Section 14.6 has been updated to change wording from practice fields to test areas and practice areas throughout.